Why seniors choose to retire in Europe. Europe is a vast continent consisting of various mountain ranges, azure beaches, and enthralling forests, some of which have fairy tale castles built within their green landscapes. All of its regions are inhabited by people who speak languages that sound pleasing to the listener's ear. In some of the old towns, there are houses with playful architectural styles that provide a meaningful contrast to the black and gray cobblestone streets. And just nearby are a group of cafes that are at least a century old. Simply put, there are limitless reasons why senior citizens choose to retire in Europe. With a little time and patience, you will eventually find the most interesting cities scattered across the different regions of Europe. The entire continent is a haven for retirees who intend to travel a lot from one city to another or even to a neighboring country. Throughout the centuries, the inhabitants of Europe have had interactions with each other, and this gave birth to their diverse culture. Even to this day, the echoes of their songs, the colors of their traditional clothes, and the whiff of their cuisine are still present. The first concern that any retiree might have is the cost of living. While there are a number of cities in Europe that are too expensive, budget-conscious retirees need not worry so much because even the most glamorous and magnificent cities in Europe do not require a thick wallet. You will be surprised that you could live in cities like Prague, Lisbon, or Hamburg while spending just about the same amount of money as you would in the United States, or even for far less than that. As kids, we were attracted to the beauty and glamour of castles, green forests, and roaring waterfalls that impose themselves on a landscape. Much of this attraction toward a Disney-like universe has not disappeared from our thoughts, and for that reason, senior citizens like the idea of living in a place that is closest to their dreamland. Europe is the perfect continent that closely represents this dreamland, which is not much of a surprise considering the fact that several Disney movies have based their castles on existing ones like the Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany. The mountain ranges and deep forests found across Europe offer limitless possibilities for outdoor excursions. As a matter of fact, there is a huge majority of athletes that are primarily based in Europe. You can climb the Alps, go kayaking or canyoneering at the Emerald River, hike and bike at the beautiful trails of the Vienna woods, or relax at the shorelines of Athens beaches. It goes without saying that Europe is home to a wide selection of cuisines that enliven your taste buds. Germany has succulent meat in the form of Wurst, while Hungary is known for its goulash and Greece for its souvlakia, and the list could go on forever. Living a retired life in Europe used to be perceived as a privilege that can only be enjoyed by the rich, but these days, the choices of cities where you can live a good life are endless. 12 questions to ask yourself when thinking about retiring in Europe. 1. Are there any driving rules and regulations? There are some countries in Europe that have a particularly unique set of rules and regulations. In Germany, for example, there are several roads where you cannot go under a given speed. Another example is in the United Kingdom, where you are required to drive on the left-hand side of the road. Visitors outside of Europe are so used to following right-hand traffic rules and regulations, and when they visit countries like the United Kingdom, it is a little hard to get used to the driving and traffic system. As such, it is vital to know if there are any rules and regulations that are different from your country's state. 2. Are the country's politics running smoothly? There are several factors that may affect your way of living, and one of them is the internal politics of the country. You do not want your retired life to be affected by a country's ongoing political turmoil. Fortunately, though, most, if not all, of the European countries are quite stable and impart just about the same kind of freedom as the United States. However, it is best for you to know even just a little about the country's way of handling internal and external political matters. 3. How efficient is law enforcement? Living in a country that has a low crime rate and safe neighborhood is vital, but there is no denying that all cities will have even the pettiest of crimes committed every now and then,
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.